When you start investing, one of the very first things you realize is that you have transactions. You start to accumulate and make trades. You start to buy a stock, you start to sell a stock, and you want to be able to track how you're doing.
Hey guys, welcome to Money Max 101. We're here with founder and CEO Stephen Wells. Stephen is going to be showing you how to track your portfolio online with Money Max 101 and how to break down some of the step-by-step of the tools, how to use it, as some of you might be new to the website. Stephen, share with us a little bit on how to navigate the system there.
So when you start investing, one of the very first things you realize is that you have transactions. You start to accumulate and make trades. You start to buy a stock, you start to sell a stock, and you want to be able to track how you're doing to see whether you're making gains or losses on your investments. And you need to have a tool to be able to track these investments. So what we have built is a portfolio tracking tool that shows you how you're doing, what you have bought, what's the current value now, and it helps you to easily manage all that information, see how you're doing in one place. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of the features and show you how it works. The first thing you need to do though is to actually get your information into the system. And so when you access our portfolio tracker, you'll see a number of tabs, and you would realize that the data and settings tab is the first place you need to go to get your information in the system. That's the very first step to get started, right? So data and settings, you'd go there and you put your information in. Now, you have people who already have information from existing trackers, Excel, their broker, somewhere else. They can import that information with a bulk upload from an Excel or a CSV file. It's right there. But most persons, after they have started, will be putting in one transaction per day or however often they make a trade. And that's what I'll show you, how to just input one transaction. Right? You with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So to enter a single transaction, you'd go, as we say, on the data and settings tab, choose and fill out all the information here and just click add. So let's say we're going to add a JC stock. It's Blue Power. We're going to add JMD as a currency, 50 units at $5 per share. You want to buy that stock. You have $5 worth of fees, and you bought that stock on the 1st of March. Once you click add, it adds that transaction to your portfolio, and it's showing that that has been added and it's new. So once you refresh, you would be seeing that transaction in your system. Before I do that though, I'll just show you what other options are there for users. So on this page as well, you're able to choose your primary currency. So there are some persons who have investments in JMD, some USD, some other right. Your primary currency says, okay, convert everything to this currency. You want to see what's the total in JMD, for instance. What should I do with fees? Should I show how much I bought plus the fees and give the value? And what do I do about email updates, etc.? You can choose all the settings here, and that's it for this data and settings tab. You enter your data and choose your settings.
Technically, you're saying if I bought some shares, maybe through JMB or Burrito, I bought some stock. You can download, what is it, like the CSV sheet or CVS sheet?
Right. So JMB, I know for sure, and other brokers may facilitate it. You can download a sheet that has each transaction. I think all the brokers, the number of units you bought, date of the transaction, what price you paid, any fees involved, and they'll have their other information as well. And once you format it in the way that, in terms of the columns that meet our format, you can also upload that, and then you see your portfolio, and you get the benefit of what we provide. So they have some sort of information, the brokers. You can always use your broker to give you an update. Most of them will send you a statement at the end of the month, and you can download that. But there are persons who want more than that, just getting a statement.
Kind of like a daily thing where you can know what's moving.
Right.
You wake up in the morning and you're like, tell me what's going on with NCB. You need some information right now.
Right. But apart from just knowing where it is, which you can get daily. Some brokers allow you to download it daily. We would add more value, like give you colorful charts,
Yeah.
give you um, information in terms of what sector the stock is in,
You,
um, how you're performing compared to the market, how diversified it is. So we'd say, okay, half of your portfolio is in finance, half is in tourism. So it gives the context, not just the balance that you'd be getting from your broker.
I see.
So
All right, let's
go
go
ahead.
on to your next step here. I know you were gonna take a bit more and breaking it down.
Right. So I'm just going to show you a little bit more of what we add that you wouldn't normally get at most of your brokers. So, for instance, the overview tab here shows you a quick summary of your portfolio with some charts. Um, each stock and the amount you have invested and the current value. This is probably what you'd get from your broker. Um, but we have gone further to give you options so you can customize it to show you with fees, without fees. You can see your total portfolio in your currency of choice, as we have said, or in the
Nice.
currency transaction. So, and you're also seeing a chart to immediately draw your eyes to say, okay, this is how my portfolio is performing. And you can see in terms of the percentage gain or the dollar value gain. You said, okay, I've gained 100 or 1,000 on each stock, and you can look at it like that. You can also see how your portfolio has changed for the day or for the week or for the month. And you're even seeing how your portfolio is performing against the market. So my portfolio is down 2%, the market is up 1%. So I'm
Oh,
doing worse than the market. And on
oh,
each page, we're showing you news and discussions relating to each stock that you own. So a lot of information immediately that you can say, okay, I own Blue Power. These are some of the news related to Blue Power. Own Lumber Depot. These are some of the news, NCB, and you just know what's happening specifically, not a whole lot of news that's unrelated so far.
I love how diverse the system is because not only are you seeing how the diversification of your portfolio is set up, but you're also getting news that's related to the shares and the stocks and
Right,
everything that you've bought. Like this is great. This is such a
right,
great tool, man.
right. And this is just us integrating it into the portfolio because there are other sections of the site which will show which help to feed into this. So we have a whole stock chat, we have a whole news section, but we have merged them into the portfolio to really make it focused on the persons who are looking at their portfolio. They can see that information. But I'll show you some more sections quickly. You can see your portfolio by exchange or by currency. So,
Yeah,
for instance, okay, what percentage is in JMD and what exchange or what section, what percentage is in USD, and that shows you immediately, okay, how the allocation of your portfolio. Then you can look at it by industry and sector, um, to see household products, food and staples retailing, consumer finance, banks. So you over time when you start, because for instance, this person has 22 stocks. It's a demo portfolio, but 22 stocks
yes,
split across 12 industries. So you immediately realize that this column jumps up. A large part of this portfolio is in banks, right? And a large part of it here is in New York Stock Exchange stocks, and the rest of it is split between different sections: tourism, insurance, capital
yeah.
markets, bank. So it's a portfolio that is all over, and you can get that information right here. Now, you wouldn't get this from your broker. They'd probably just say the name of the stock and the amount.
I see. Is there any rule of thumb where you look at your portfolio and you say, hey, now that you can see all of these graphs and how much you've invested in a particular area, you might want to scale back. For example, this person has a lot in banking. Everybody might have their own preference, but I'm just thinking with the graph, it might give you a more visual on saying, whoa, I didn't realize I had that much invested, and you can also see the performance of how it's doing. Is there any rule of thumb where you say a certain
Right,
percentage or
right.
not investing more than a certain percentage in a particular area?
Right, and that is the beauty of it. It shows you, it jumps out at you and grabs your attention, and then you can look. Everybody has their own guidelines and their own requirements that they have set up for their portfolio. So there are standards that the industry has set based on your risk tolerance or your objectives,
Yeah,
and you say, okay, if I'm risky, or I might want to put more in a certain sector that's high growth or maybe um, has more opportunities. But if you're risk averse, make sure your portfolio doesn't have more than 20% in one sector. Depending, you'd have to look at your objectives. But the point is,
I
we
see.
present the information to the user and they would be able to use that to decide. Just
I
going
see.
through quickly, just going through quickly again, we have
Yes.
more information below that shows them for each stock, because at the top it's aggregated, so it's only showing you the sectors, industries, and the amount of money invested and the number of stocks. But if you wanted to see each stock and where it falls, there's a table below for that as well. So Blue Power is in household products. That's the consumer staple sector, and it has changed 21% so far for this year. Um, there is a number of other sections. The portfolio history, performance history section shows how the stock has been doing, shows how
Wow.
your portfolio, and you can drill down by stock as well to see how each are doing over
Man, this is
time.
good.
Right. So quite a bit. This whole tab here is shows you, allows you to drill down, see it by transaction, see your gains, see your losses, and we have other sections that show technical indicators, lots of other features, Tico,
I see
fundamentals.
market sentiment. They're talking about if it's like a bullish or bearish kind of stock.
Right,
I
right,
love
right,
that. I
right.
love that.
Right. So the technical indicators now you'd have other information. So the benefit of this is that to get these indicators, you'd have to be or any of these metrics.
Yes.
What you have to realize is that just imagine you're making transactions. That's just one set of data. But finding the related data for each of these companies or transaction takes work. Let me explain further. So, say you have bought Blue Power and you want to know if Blue Power is bullish or bearish. You'd have to go now and calculate that data on Blue Power's performance. That's just one set of information that you need to calculate right there. Then you need to
Wow.
find out the sector that Blue Power is in. You need to find out Blue Power's financials performance. So everything for one stock, you have to calculate or find more information in a separate place. So what we've done is do all that work for each stock and put it
Bringing
together.
it together.
Exactly.
So you having it all in one place with Money Max. Come on, come on. This is
Yeah,
such
man.
a great tool, man. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this yet on the Caribbean market. And if there is something else like it, I'd love to know about it. But I think this is the most concise piece of tool on your website that is here. And trust me, Money Max is one of the best kept secret, which I think everybody in the Caribbean should know about.
Yeah, we're getting it out there because it has a lot of information. So you can immediately see, get alerts, for instance. You can even other features which will explain later, but you can get alerts on your portfolio. Um,
Wow.
and the last thing I'd mention is that everybody gets a update. You can choose how you want to be updated, whether by email or not. So a lot of people look
Yeah.
forward to that, and you just click on the email and you see, okay, this is how my portfolio is doing daily, and people love that. Keeps them updated, and then you can dive in from there and choose your portfolio. You can also see dividend history of your stocks. So
Dividend history.
yeah, a wealth of information in the whole
Wow.
for the
So
user right
so
here.
let me just tap back into the you were saying you can get alerts. Let me say if let's say I bought some NTB shares and can you set like let's say a selling target and
Right,
once
right,
it hits
right,
that target you get an
right,
update or something like that?
right. Right. Separate feature now. That's like our alerts feature, which I want to explain separately. But
Wow.
we have a feature that says, okay, alerts, alert me if a stock is at a certain price,
Wow.
going to hit a certain price, or anything. We have different alerts
Whoa,
for them.
whoa,
So
whoa.
a whole
That's
lot of features.
That's really good because, I guess for me in the past, I've had ideas of like, okay, I want to sell this stock when it hits this
Right.
price, but when it hit the
Right.
price, I don't know, and it's a week after I'm finding out. So I
Yeah, yeah,
love that
yeah,
those are in the
yeah,
system, and
yeah,
it's just really a nice tool to have.
yeah, man, yeah, man. So yeah, this is just a quick summary to show our users what we have built for them to actually help them to navigate and walk through. And we're
Yes.
hoping that this is actually a good introduction to the portfolio feature, but there's more to come in further videos.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing, Stephen. Stay with us as we have more videos like these coming right at you.